Thanks for joining me this morning. I hope what I'm going to share is going to be helpful to you. I will tell you, my coaching clients have said it's actually changed their lives. So maybe it will change yours and help you. So who am I? I'm Sylvia Dana. I am with Realty. I've been teaching kvCore since 2018. I'm an active agent like you, and I know what you're going through. So what we're going to be doing here today is kind of going over time blocking. We're going to be going over managing a Google Calendar, and this applies to Outlook users as well, or really any calendar user. Okay. It can apply to digital and it can apply to print if you're really like a paper calendar person. Okay. And it's going to help you get more out of kvCore, because I'm going to help you understand what you're supposed to be doing in kvCore to generate leads, to nurture your database, to convert. Okay, so I'm giving you a plan. A lot of people over the last many years have I'll teach all these concepts. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. And people's like, but what do I do every day? And I was like, I got to teach that. All right, here we go. And honestly, no judgment, because I remember several years back, I was trying to figure out time blocking myself. Couldn't figure it out. For whatever reason, it was a mystery. Like, how do you do this? And so I hope what I'm going to share with you is going to help you today. So tell me, what's most important to you? Pick one: Google Calendar management, time blocking your tasks, auto adding tasks from kvCore to a calendar, knowing what to do in kvCore every day, every week, every month, or implementing a strategy for lead gen and conversion. What is your most important? Everybody wants to know what to do in kvCore every day, and they want to implement a strategy for lead conversion. But they don't really want to time block it. So this is where I make fun of you, like, yes, I want to implement a strategy for lead gen and conversion. And yes, I want to know what to do in kvCore every day and every week and every month, but I don't want to time block it. I don't really want to know how to manage the calendar. It kind of helps you open your eyes. A lot of us, in real estate, especially, oh, we got to make prospecting calls, or we got to work on our prospecting, whatever way we're going to choose to do that, whether it's social media prospecting, door knocking, calling, whatever your thing is, you got to do it. You just don't really want to. So you kind of try to find out what is the magic sauce that's going to help me do that thing, even though you don't want to do that thing. Majority of you are saying, I really need to know what to do in kvCore every day, and how I'm going to implement a strategy to use it to actually do what it's supposed to do. Help me generate leads and convert leads. In these slides, you're going to get my kvCore strategy calendar. You'll be able to download the PDF. So you'll be able to click on this link and then download a PDF. Okay, so that's one thing you're going to be able to do. And then you're also going to have links to learn more about how to subscribe to the calendar, although I'm going to demonstrate it live here, but you'll have this backup as well. How to subscribe to my kvCore strategy calendar online. And also my calendar events for the Sylvia system you can subscribe to. So that's what's in here. But this is what we're going to cover today. What's time blocking? How do I do it? What strategy can I follow for working with kvCore daily? How do I manage a Google Calendar? How do I subscribe to a Google Calendar? How and why do I add events from a subscription calendar to my own calendar? Can I connect tasks from kvCore to my calendar? And why and how might I use a kvCore only email address and calendar? So that's what we're going to be discussing. Ready? So let's solve this internationally known problem of the weekly plan. When I was a younger person, I sold Mary Kay for 8 years. Do I have any Mary Kay reps on with me? Sold Mary Kay for 8 years. And that's when I really started learning how to become an entrepreneur, because Mary Kay had great sales meetings. You would learn mindset, learn how to run a business, really. And so they always introduced this weekly plan sheet, and you'd have to schedule out when are you going to do skincare classes? When are you going to make calls to set appointments for your skincare classes? When are you going to conduct the skincare classes? When are you going to work on your marketing for your business? When, or how are you going to come up with, whatever. So, and you had to plan out when you were going to do those things. And then when we were going to do personal things, so kind of like a rule of thumb for time blocking is that you take the week, and from the times that you're going to be awake, like, so if you're a 5 o'clock club person or a 6 a.m. club person, whatever, to the time you go to bed, how are you going to be spending your time? And so what have you always heard? You've heard schedule your family time, your personal time first. So do you go to church on Wednesdays? Block that out. You know, on Wednesday nights. Do you go to church on Sunday mornings? Are you a member of the Women's Council of Realtors and they have a meeting every Thursday morning at 9:30? Block that out. If you have a team meeting and it's every Monday at 8:30 a.m., block that out. You know, but starting with your personal time, all your personal time, kids' games, your self-care days, your morning coffee with a friend, whatever it is that you need for your family and yourself, block that out first. Second, then block out all the business things that you have to do, especially those events. And then think about, what is it going to take to do that thing? So for example, let's say you want to send a weekly email every week from your kvCore or from Constant Contact or MailChimp or whatever your little heart desires. When are you going to work on building that email? Is it going to take you an hour? Is it going to take you 2 hours? And plan it out. So in these slides, you'll have this, you'll be able to download this and start just on paper planning it out, you know, and you might do this several times till you kind of think, what's my ideal schedule? So that's going to be step one. Okay. Thinking about what it is that you have to do every day. Now, why do you want a time block? Because especially in real estate, there's so many things to do in this business, right? You didn't know you needed to be a marketing expert. You didn't need to know you needed to know how to, do advertising and retargeting and, Facebook ads and Google ads. You didn't know you needed to be a social media star. You didn't know you needed to be brave enough to make door knock or make prospecting calls or, hand out your card to strangers at the grocery store. These are things you didn't really know. You've got to plan for it. It has to be time blocked. So I remember when I came into EXP, actually, there was a class on time blocking in the world. And I was like, oh, this is the answer to my prayers. Oh, she's going to give me the answer about how I do this business. What do I do? Okay, for 2 hours a day, you're going to schedule a time block where you're going to make calls. Okay. What else? Well, that's the most important thing. That's what you're going to do. Well, how do I be successful in real estate? Well, you're going to schedule 2 hours a day when you're going to sit down and make prospecting calls and follow-up calls. Really? Isn't there something else different I could be doing? Nope. You can do whatever you want, but for 2 hours a day, you're going to just time block it and you're going to do it. You're setting an appointment with yourself. Let me just start by introducing to you the kvCore strategy calendar. And this is my calendar, and it's a crazy calendar. It's a crazy person's calendar. So first of all, you do not have to have my crazy person calendar. But I'm going to get over here on the left. This is my Google calendar. So this is associated with my Gmail account. Okay. So if I go up here to the right, and this is my account. I'm logged in at hello@sylviadana.com. And this is my Google Drive and everything I have in here, my Gmail, my Drive forms, my Google My Business account, my Google account itself, my calendar. So I'm on my calendar right now. For easing your eyes, I'm going to uncheck all of these calendars. And we're going to just focus on the kvCore strategy calendar and get into what it is and what's on here, and then how you can start using it. Okay. All right. So you will be able to be subscribed to this calendar online. And then for those of you that don't want to use it that way or want to use it in a different way, you're also going to be able to have this calendar in a PDF download. Okay. So you've got two different options or both that you're going to be able to follow this along. So let's start with what you need to do in there every day. When you get access to this calendar and decide to subscribe to it if you want to, or look at the PDF, you're going to be able to choose a time to do your kvCore daily review. So I have mine, and in this calendar you'll be able to subscribe to. It will show up at 8 a.m. Eastern every day. And then as far as your time zone or when you want to do this, you'll be able to change that. And I am going to teach you how to do that. So just don't worry about the times yet. Just let's worry about the task. So this is the kvCore daily review. This is what you're going to want to do in your kvCore every day, 5 days a week. Notice when you open up this event, I tell you how you can change the time of this day, of this time block, but I don't want to get too in the weeds here. I just want to tell you what you're going to do for the review. So what you're going to do, this particular task list can work for any CRM. Okay, any CRM that's kind of like kvCore, a CRM where people are able to search properties, where people can send you texts, ask for showings, ask a question, send an email. Any system like that, like kvCore, this plan can apply to. All right. So what are you going to do every day? Log in. So log in 5 days a week. That's my request. All right. You got to log in and see what's going on in there. And I'm going to help you understand what's going on in there. For the first 15 minutes, you're going to review the dashboard activity. And I'm going to demonstrate this. Don't worry. You're going to review the dashboard activity, respond to any questions, requests, emails, or texts. Then you're going to spend another 15 minutes reviewing any new leads you got, checking out if they're on search alerts or market reports, campaign valuations, seeing what's going on there. And then another 15 minutes of calling any new leads you got, leaving voicemails or sending follow-up texts or sending video messages. And then finally, conducting a process for seller lead conversion. So that's what you're going to be doing as a daily task for yourself. How? Well, you'll notice when you open up this calendar, I have a link to a training on my YouTube channel about how to do it. But I'm going to actually demonstrate it briefly now. I just want you to know in the calendar, there's a more thorough training. All right. And then there's also, I did this, a class kind of like this when I first introduced the kvCore strategy calendar. You can watch as well, but I'm doing this live right now with you. How are you going to do that kvCore daily review? I'm just going to briefly go over, because some of you said, I've never even logged into kvCore. So let's see what's in there. Let's help bring down your defenses about kvCore being hard, because it's really not too hard. I promise. So when I log into the back end of my kvCore account here, this is my dashboard activity of things that are going on in my account right now. Who's looking at properties? Does anybody email me? Do I have a new leads? Does somebody unsubscribe from a text? Fine, I don't care. What new leads to get? Who requested a market report? Did anybody request a listing valuation? You know, do I know anybody in here? Oh, look, that's a past client. Past client is looking at stuff. What's going on, Bianca? What are you thinking? So I can kind of see who's going. Timothy Wilson. He never has been a past client of mine before, but I used to sell cars like many years ago. And I think I sold a car to him like 10 years ago. And he's on my website looking at property. So he's in my sphere. So I can see my new leads, people I don't know what they're doing. All right, so that's the activity I can just view. So now what do I do in this kvCore daily review? The first thing you want to realize is there's up here, this little drop down up here. It gives you these different options to look at all of these things at once. And what I want you to start with is see, is there any weird question? Is there some question somebody asked you anytime that you, because they'll send questions to you. And you might miss them. So I got this one 5 days ago. He sent a question. I'm currently living in New Mexico, separated from the military, looking to move to Michigan, blah, 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 blah. Okay. he's moving here and he wants some, great, perfect. I need to answer his question. So any new questions that you got that you need to answer. All right. So this is step one. Because you get those once in a blue moon. I don't get a ton of them, but I get them now and then. And so once a day, you just want to go in there and make sure you didn't miss anything. And the next thing, showing requests. This is weird. People will, once in a blue moon, start requesting showings from your website like they're using Zillow. And some people, you will have no idea who they are. And some people will be like clients you're working with that are really enjoying working with your website. And they like it. And so they'll start requesting showings. So double check, is there any showing request out there? So like, for example, I got one many moons ago, where it was a lead who had been in my kvCore for about 1.5 years, and she'd been getting stuff from me from my system, like emails and search alert, property alerts sent to her. And one day she requested a showing. And we were under contract on something the next week. And I'm really glad I didn't miss that question she asked. All right. So questions, showing requests. The other thing is new text messages. Did anybody send you a text message besides unsubscribe or stop? So one thing you need to know about text messages, you guys, is that the very first text message kvCore sends, either from a campaign or from a behavior alert, or that you manually send from the system, the first text message they get, it gives the people an option to unsubscribe at the end. Just says, if you'd rather not hear from me by text, you can say stop or unsubscribe. And that happens sometimes. No, it doesn't mean you can't call them. It doesn't mean that they won't even want to be subscribed. I just got an email from a guy the other day, said, hey, I was looking for a text from you because your email said you were gonna send me a text. And I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't get it because you unsubscribed, but I'm going to resubscribe you. And he was fine with that. So it just, they think they want to unsubscribe sometimes. No, don't let that stress you out. It's fine. All right. This guy was responding to a text that said, are you thinking of selling soon? And he said, yes, possibly. This one, she got a birthday message from me, and she replied back, thank you. Happy New Year, dinner tonight. Okay. So because in the birthday message, it says, hey, it's your birthday. Are you doing anything fun? So anyway, what new text did you get that you might need to respond to? Did you get any new emails? So what emails did you get you might need to respond to? So do you need to respond? Have you responded? What's going on? Who responded to your emails? So I sent a New Year email. So a few of my sphere replied back, and that's fun. That's fun for me. I like to see them interacting with me. So that's the first thing that you want to focus on, is any messages, contacts, replies you got from anybody that you need to answer to. Then you can start going through your new leads. What are the newest leads you got? And what are they doing? What kind of leads are they? Okay, so this is a new lead I got from Facebook, another lead I got from a Facebook ad I'm running. This is another one I got directly on my website, etc. So you can see the different things that are happening and where these leads are coming from and what type. Are they buyer leads? Are they seller leads? What are they? Okay. So right now I've got a lot of buyer new leads. Next, you can look at hot leads. So what hot leads are you getting? What are hot leads? Hot leads are just people who are doing a lot of activity on your website. They're looking at many properties. They're very active on your website. So you want to pay extra attention to them. So let's look at Beth Nugent, who was active 38 minutes ago. And we can see how we got this person. So she first registered on my website 2 years ago in March of 2021. And she wasn't opening emails for a long time. And then, but you know what? She just started opening an email again recently. So she hadn't been opening any emails, but then all of a sudden open an email, and she looked at this property. So she's somebody I got to pay attention to, right? Like, what's she thinking? So we're going to go over about what you can do with that, because I only have an email address. So what should I do? We're going to go over that. But this is the kind of stuff you're going to be looking for. Back to the calendar. We reviewed the dashboard activity, responding to questions, requests, emails, and text, review the new leads, and then I'm going to go over checking on search alerts, market reports, campaigns, valuations, and all this other stuff. But I just want to remind you, this training, I really go over this stuff in this video here. Okay, you'll be able to click on it and check it out. I'm going to go through this because I know you're going to have the question. So going back to Beth, who finally just opened this email, she's been in my system a while. And so what I need to do is I need to check out her search alerts and see what's going on, see what's going on. She's not on any campaigns. right now, which is could be okay because, you know, she was probably on a campaign a long time ago. It ended eventually. I never re-added her to another campaign. She was on a lead revival campaign for a bit, but she's been in there 2 years. So what is she getting? Well, she's getting a market report from me every 28 days. That's getting sent to her every 28 days. A market report. A market report is just a report of the area. It's not a listing valuation. I don't have her address. Listing valuations are down here. A market report is something you can subscribe to somebody. You can add the market report yourself so they can get it every 28 days, every 21 days, every 14 days, or 7 days. So what I do usually with a new buyer lead is for whatever area they seem to be concentrated on, I will send them a market report every 28 days and I'll just subscribe them to that. But you want to, what happens when somebody first looks at a property on your website, and I know this person happened to look at this property 2 years ago. That's how she came on. That was the property that created a specific search alert. So what happens in kvCore when somebody looks at a property on your website and they register on your website, then they're going to start getting property alerts, similar properties of their area. And it's going to happen within 24 to 48 hours. That property alert will automatically be set up. But what you want to do after a lead comes in and it's in there for a couple of days, you want to go in and see what does their property alert look like. So I clicked on alerts and it shows me she's got one alert set up and there's an option for a second alert not set up. But this alert was created automatically. And I can see what's going on here. What will happen with these automatic ones when the property alert starts after 24 to 48 hours of the lead coming in is kvCore will choose a price range and a similar property if it can in the area, bedrooms, bathrooms, that kind of thing, like a kind of a range, and it will be set up automatically to go every single day. So what you can do is you can go into edit and then you can change some things about this. So 2 years ago, we went in here and we decided, you know, to stick with that county she was looking at. So the county she was looking at was Benzie. She might have looked at a particular town and we might have removed that town and expanded it to a whole county. It's probably likely. And then we chose what type of listing types. So in my area, you know, there's boat slips, boat docks, condo stuff, whatever, farm and ranch. I mean, whatever, you can choose what's there, but I'm just sticking to single family homes and condos in this case. And then you can mess with the price range. So if you think the price range is a little bit, you'd like to change it so that that person's getting more listings sent to them, then that's a great idea. I'm actually going to change this right now to say 175. Oops, because prices are going down a tad. And I just want to give it a bit. I'm also, you know, it's on 2 beds, 2 baths right now. I could put on any if I wanted to. That's something you want to look at, because if somebody looks initially at a kind of a strange property, like they look at a property that has 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, and there's no other properties in the area that are like that, kvCore won't come up with a lot of other similar properties. So that's when you want to go and make sure, you know, that they're getting enough properties, because you don't know this person yet. You don't know what they're looking at yet. So you want to, you know, you might even put on any, you know, who knows? Maybe we don't know. We don't know what they really want yet. I never worry about square feet or anything. Now, if you have an actual client that's looking for something specific, you can get a little more specific here. But otherwise, I wouldn't. And then you can change the frequency, because remember, by default, it will happen daily. But if you want to say, well, I don't want them to get it every day, I just want to send it twice a week or once a week, that's totally up to you. All right. So that's one thing you're going to want to do when you're looking at your newer leads that have been in there a day or two, especially how is it going? What campaign are they on a campaign or not? But the last thing I want to leave you with this part are these 2 things, because again, in this training, I do address these 2 things, but I want to do it quickly for you right now. All right. So let's go back to what you can do to convert. So when you get your new leads, if you have a number, you're going to want to call them. You're going to want to leave a voicemail. That's the number one question I get. Sylvia, when I get a lead, what do I do with it? It's like, well, you got to work it, you know, so what are you going to do? You're going to call it. Okay, you're going to call them several times till you get them. All right. You're going to try to call that person 20 times, honestly, until you reach them. You're going to leave voicemails. Okay. You can send follow-up texts if you have a phone number, and you can send video messages. So that's what I want to demonstrate is the video message. Beth is somebody who has not been opening my emails until just recently. Maybe she did in the beginning, and then, but 2 years later, she's back. So how can I convert her? I don't have a phone number, do I? So what can I do? Well, kvCore has core video. You see it's over here. If you are on the free plan, which by default you are, then you can send up to 10 free video messages through email, individual email messages. I did choose to upgrade to the Core Video Premium, which is $30 a month, because I really like this feature. It's a bomb integration. And so, and I trust me, I have a video on how you're going to do this, and it's a full training on this, but I'm going to do it a quick version. Okay. So you probably can't see it really well, but that says Beth. Okay. So I got my little whiteboard here, and it says Beth. All right. And then I'm going to kind of fluff my hair a little bit, and I'm going to send Beth a video message. She's looking in Benzonia. So I'm going to click on Core Video here. And now I actually have a template that will fill in with some text already. So I'm going to go find my template. It's a template I created. And you don't have to create one, but I have one. It's saved in my campaign templates. So my video message template. And notice the subject line. This is important. The subject line says video message for, and it will fill in their first name. And then I say from Sylvia at eXp Realty. That's me. Okay. So that's my little subject line that comes. I will tell you 98% of the time, people open this. Even if they haven't opened any emails, 98% of the time, they will open this email based on that subject line. You'll see also if it shows here what my text is going to be. It's going to say, hi, Beth, I noticed you're viewing properties on my website. And I'm just going to get rid of this part. Are you actively looking to buy or sell soon? I'd love you to choose me as your realtor. Reply to this email with your best phone number or schedule a call with me. I look forward to speaking with you, and I can include my signature. My signature is going to be on there, but let's make the video message. So this is my strategy to try to convert those buyer leads I don't have phone numbers for. All right. So I'm going to open the recording, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to name this video message for Beth Nugent. This is just how I'm categorizing this. Oops. Nugent, how I'm naming it. And I look terrible, but that's okay. It's fine. I'm real. Okay. So I'm going to record screen, and it says, Beth. Hey, Beth, how are you? It's Sylvia Dana here with eXp Realty in West Michigan. And I noticed you opened up an email recently and checked out a property in Benzonia. And I'm just curious if you have any questions. So pardon my look on Saturday morning while I'm drinking coffee, but I wanted to just make sure I got with you. I am a real person. I'm a local realtor, and I'd love to assist you. So reply back with your best phone number, or tell me kind of what you're thinking, or you can schedule a call with me. I'd love to be of assistance. Hope you have a great day, Beth. Bye. Okay. So it's like you're leaving a voicemail. Okay. And you just show you're a real person. You're not a robot. So I'm going to use this recording. And then it's thinking. So there it is. So when they get this email, that little Giphy Jiffy is going to show up. Okay. And then there it is. And now I'm just going to send this baby. Boop. So we'll see if she opens it while we're together. So that's one strategy. Again, for free, you can do up to 10 video email messages like that to individual people. If you upgrade to the $30 a month Core Video Premium with kvCore, you can do as many messages as you want. You can also use them in text messages. It's a bomb integration, so you can use the videos anywhere on the internet, and you can use them in campaigns. So that's that. Seller leads. So that was the last thing that I want to talk about. You always have the question, and I know it because I get it all the time. What do I do when I only get an address? What do I do when I only get an address from a lead? I don't get the actual email and I don't get the actual phone number. I only have an address. I'm going to go to my smart CRM. As I'm scrolling through here, I can see, oh, there I have this seller lead. I only got an address, somebody's address. Whatever will I do? Well, you're going to go to RPR if you're in the United States, or if you're in Canada, you can go to Geo Warehouse and find out who owns that. So for example, and again, you're going to get a full video on how to do this. Sign into my RPR account. RPR is just part of the deal if you're a member of the National Association of Realtors. And in Canada, I think your MLS has Geo Warehouses, which is a similar thing. You're going to type in an address that you're looking for, and it's going to load, and you're going to see what's going on with it. So off market, this property was somebody who asked for their instant home value on my website. I only had an address. So we looked up their information. We saw, okay, it's off market. The last time it sold was 2004. This is sort of the estimated value. This is who owns it. Gina Cleveland and her trust. That's who owns that. And so this is a good lead. So what can I do? I can create a report. So I click create report. And I am going to have a property flyer. I can create a property flyer right inside RPR. And I can say, okay, this is your estimated home value. This is the home. I can write a headline. I can put in a little message like, hey there, you previously requested a home value from my website. And I want to make sure you received an update. The actual value could be higher or lower. Are you curious about how much equity you have? Let's have a quick phone call. Text me this information. So that's the gist of it. Okay, this video, I'm going to put it in the chat. The seller leads with kvCore at like year 5. So I explain like in the first 20 minutes how I do that process. All right. In addition, the other thing I want to give you is how to use the BombBomb integration with kvCore. Today we're going to talk about core. And again, I am going to put that in the chat. So I hope that helps you think about, wow, there's a lot I could be doing every day in kvCore, right? All right, so that I just want to give you a taste of what is in this calendar. But now, a little quickly, I'm going to kind of go over more what's in here. That's just really important. All right, so in this calendar, besides what to do every day, there's other tasks I offer you that you can choose to do. So maybe you're going to do an active lead follow session. So every week, picking a time slot to do it, you're going to conduct a 2-hour follow session to find all of those leads who are very active on your website. So it can be either hot leads or active leads, to review what's going on with that lead, call them, message them, email them, whatever you got to do. Okay. You also might do weekly a newsletter. So if you're in my coaching program, Presto coaching program, and or have the Abracadabra set up, and you added the custom newsletter, or in our Presto coaching program, and we gave you our custom newsletter. So we create for you a custom newsletter template, but you can create it yourself if you're not in any of my programs. I have a free class here, how to create a custom newsletter and send a mass email newsletter that's really pretty, just as pretty as Constant Contact or MailChimp, and how you might do that directly from kvCore and save yourself some money and some extra technology to learn. All right. In addition, I give you once a week to call your sphere. So again, you want to time block this stuff, so think about your Uncle Jim, Cousin Mary, person who does your hair, anybody that that either has a past client or has never done business with you, that you can conduct a 2-hour call session once a week, update their profile, make notes. Do you have their birthday? Do you know what's going on in their life? You know what their real estate needs are right now? Kind of like, where did they get a new job? Are they looking for a job? Can you connect them to somebody? So this is your sphere call session at least once a week. So that's the kind of stuff that's in here. I also have once a month. You'll notice when you open up this task, it says this is going to happen monthly on the 3rd Wednesday. This can happen anytime you want, but this is the calendar you're subscribed to that you're going to be able to move around. I'm going to teach you how to do that. So what are you going to do? How are you going to create a landing page? I've got 2 trainings free on YouTube, how to create a landing page. In addition, there's these different social media posts you might start doing. This is the strategy part. How are you going to strategize starting to generate leads, whether they're free or paid, boosted, whatever. So I've got, if you open this up, it tells you what to do. You're going to do a market report post 1 day a week. It can be a Monday, your market Mondays. What you're going to do is you're going to create a market report post to share in Facebook, maybe on your Google My Business page, maybe on your LinkedIn page. What you can do is maybe you have top 10 cities that you do, top 10 zip codes, and maybe each week you rotate those. Or like I know Tanya might be still on here and she just deals with just 1 zip code, just 1 little town, and that's all she focuses on. So it depends on you, right? And then you're going to create a featured market report. Maybe you do an image in PicMonkey or Canva if you want to, and then you're going to create and schedule the post. And you can include your market report squeeze page link, an instant home value link in that market report. So then you can click on this right inside your calendar, open it up. And guess what? I give you an example. Here's an example of what a market report squeeze page post might look like. Okay, so that's that. In addition, maybe on Wednesdays, you do a business of the week. So you're going to promote a business with a post. Once it's published on Facebook, then you can share it or repost it to local Facebook groups and maybe repost it to your Google My Business page or LinkedIn. So what are you going to do? You're going to identify a business to feature, create like a featured business template in Canva or PicMonkey, create and schedule the post. And then don't forget to tag that business, really important. Tag that business on Facebook, tag their business page. So you're going to open this up and see the example. So here's an example. 2022 is the year, new you, new earrings. And then the business is tagged. Knotted Bug Designs here to help and revive, blah, blah, blah. So this is great. It's a perfect, notice this got shared 21 times. It got shared 21 times. Why? Because we shared it to our page. We also shared it to some local groups. Then people in the local groups, especially the business, when the business sees that they're tagged, they're going to start sharing it. Okay. And then people they know might start sharing it. And so then who's going to be noticed? You, whatever your community page or business page you're sharing this from is going to be noticed. And you're going to get messages from businesses thanking you and offering you free cookies. It's happened to me because I did a cookie business one time. They're like, oh my gosh, we want to send you some cookies. They were so grateful. So that's an example of the business week. The most important post you can do every week is a single property squeeze page post. There is no better way to get a lot of leads in the fastest amount of time than a single property squeeze page promoting one listing. So you'll be able to open this and you'll get access to my squeeze page training for free here if you're not in any of my programs. So you'll be able to click on that and get it. And then this is the example of a single property squeeze page. Okay, so this is how I post it and share it. So again, this training here tells you exactly what to do. All right. And then it goes on. Then there's a community list post. You know, how might you do a community post? Maybe you'll do a top 5 list, coffee shops or hiking trails or bakeries or a national holiday. So I give you a bunch of examples, and then you can see what an example of the post might look like. Top 5 free coffee shops, for example. All right, so that's that. I could go on. I could go on all day about what's in this calendar, but the reason I'm not going to spend too much time is because I'm giving you recorded training where I really spell out each thing. All right. But it's all here for you. Just open up, read what it says, and do the things and see the free resources associated. Okay. So for example, once a month, I offer you to do a digital marketing audit. So notice it says monthly on the 3rd Friday, for example. So here's your checklist to help you digitally dominate the real estate market. So basically helping you own your digital space, and you'll be able to click on this and it's going to take you to the training.
This
on there.
Bonnie Slope.
Okay. So it's pretty detailed, but in order to kind of see it in all one spot, what's beautiful about the online calendar is it links to training. Okay, so that's one thing that's beautiful about it. But the other thing that I want you to know is you'll be able to have these slides, and you'll be able to actually download a PDF so you can see it kind of all at once if you need to. All right. And as far as like the steps you take and how you choose to go about this, it's going to be completely up to you. I can't decide that for you. Also, we all have different kind of minds, and we work a different way, and you're going to have to just take this information to say, how can I apply this to what I'm doing? So now that you kind of have a lay of the land of what's the types of things that are in this calendar. Okay, I just gave you a snippet of, here's a few things that are in this calendar. And now what I want to talk about is how are you going to subscribe to this calendar, and how are you going to work with it on Google? I want you to notice on my calendar on the left-hand side, I have a lot of calendars. Again, I have a crazy person calendar. So I'm not expecting you to have a crazy person calendar. What I want to do is get rid of the kvCore strategy calendar right now and show you the calendar I actually work with every single day. All these are different kind of separate type of calendars I created on my one account that serve different purposes. And so I'm going to show you what they are. So this is my crazy person calendar. And so what's on here? First of all, everything that's in like lavender or red, these are things that are actually events on my calendar. Okay, so like, on Monday, one of my VAs, we're going to review some projects. On Monday at noon, I've got a team building session with one of my own coaches. I also have this event that I got to do with my staff. And then, let's see, I got lunch with Lisa, here, etc. So you can see that's my actual work calendar. I also have, when is our Michigan State meeting in EXP World? When do I do prospecting power hour? With Tanya, for example. So everything's outlined here. This part, sometimes I don't have like an actual thing scheduled here, but I've got it time blocked. Like during this time, I'm going to conduct a lunch and learn, or go to training, or do some recruiting, or do some networking. I'm going to do real estate appointments during this time, and real estate appointments during this time. So that gives you an idea of getting started with time blocking. And that's everything that's on my calendar. So what else do I have here? You'll notice this shows Monday.com tasks. So my staff, we use, you might have heard of Asana, you might have heard of Slack, you might have heard of Monday.com. Monday.com is just another project management thing. And I've got these tasks from that system that gets automatically added to my calendar. So I know what I got to do. All right. In addition, I have this kvCore only calendar. And that's what I'm going to get into. I'm going to show you. And that comes up on my calendar as a different color. I'll be showing you this. So as an example, this is a true example because it's a demo, but I made myself a task for the 17th of January. I can open up this task or this event on my calendar, and it tells me that I have to set up a market report or home valuation for this person. And I can see, okay, this is the lead's name. This is their email. And then this will take me to their profile on kvCore. So what I've done is I've added the task from kvCore. It just automatically goes to my calendar. So I can kind of, have everything integrated, and kvCore won't be so separate from the rest of my life. All right. And so I'm going to get into how to do this. We've talked about, the general idea of what is time blocking, and how you might start doing it. And the way I suggested it was create on paper a weekly plan sheet and start deciding what is important. When are you going to be doing your prospecting? When are you going to be working in your kvCore for that daily review? When are you going to do your social media posts? When are you going to follow up with your sphere? When are you going to follow up with your active leads? The kvCore strategy calendar has it all for you, and you can rearrange it however you want, take things away, add whatever you want to do. Then we've talked about generally what is the strategy calendar, how can you do the daily review? And we're going to get more into subscribing to the kvCore strategy calendar. Now let's talk more about like subscribing to that calendar and then managing it on your Google Calendar or Outlook. So you will notice on the bottom left-hand side, I have this option that says other calendars. What are these? These are calendars that I have subscribed to, and you will have the option of subscribing to my calendars. What am I talking about? Well, I'm at eXp Realty, and I can uncheck all of these boxes for the calendars I want to look at every day. And I can look at what eXp Realty's education calendar is right now. I can say, okay, what's going on in the eXp education calendar? What's happening in the world? What trainings do I not want to miss? So let's look at Monday, for example. And let's say I want to see what this fast start 110 database management fundamentals. What do I need to understand about the general fundamentals of managing a database? What do I need to know? Is this a good class I should go to? Oh, I think it is. Now, how would I make sure I add this particular event to my own calendar? Because I want to make sure I don't forget. Okay, so how would I do that? What I would do is when this event's opened up, I would click on options, and then I'd copy it to my work calendar. So you're not gonna have as many calendars as I do. You're gonna have your own calendar. So I'm gonna copy it to my work calendar. You'll also notice that it shows 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. here right now. I'm gonna go to copy to work calendar. The other thing you need to know that this calendar showing this particular event is showing in Pacific time. I'm in Eastern time. So whatever am I in to do? Well, I don't have to worry because I'm adding this to my own calendar and it will revert to the time zone I'm in. So I'm going to click on save. And now I'm going to uncheck this box and let's look where I put this. I think it was 2 p.m. So here it is. Oh yeah, 2 p.m. Here it is, fast start. So now I've added this to my own calendar. So now this is coming up as an event on my calendar. I've added it. I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to do this thing. Okay. And you'll notice it converted to Eastern time. So I'm not going to miss that event. I know what time it is. So the point is here, you can subscribe to a calendar and then see what the events are and then add it to your own calendar. The same rule is going to apply to this kvCore strategy calendar. That's why I'm explaining this. So for example, another calendar you can subscribe to if you so choose is my Sylvia system calendar. So this is when do I have events, my regular events, whether they're free events to anybody can come or they're events that my coaching clients can come to, they're going to be on here. Okay. So for example, prospecting power hour is something that Tanya and I do every Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And you can register to join us for prospecting power hour. And if you don't want to miss it, and know when it is, it's going to be on the calendar and you'll be able to register here. So that's an example of subscribing to calendars and then adding them to your own calendar. I just put the link to this presentation in here. What you're going to be able to do is you can click here and it's going to take you to the strategy calendar and request access to the calendar. So this is going to take you to this page and it's going to take you to my first training when I talked about kvCore success with time blocking and talked about some of these concepts. So it will help you understand more again, hopefully if I'm not making sense now. All right. So this strategy calendar, all the events are displayed in Eastern time right now. And then I tell you to make the event show up in your own time zone, you can either click on the event and copy it to your Google Calendar, or B, subscribe to the whole calendar and then, or do both. Okay. So what am I talking about? When I'm looking at this calendar here, I can see it for the month, I can see it for the week, or I can see it in agenda form. So for example, if I'm looking here in the agenda and I'm like, oh, Saturday, today I got to do a day in the life post. What's that? I can click on it and it shows me, oh, okay, here's what I do. But you'll notice the little example or the links won't be in this embedded view. So what if you're like, well, I want to copy this to my calendar? Boom, I can click copy to calendar and just then do it. Okay. And then you'll notice this is where you can see the examples in any training. So if the actual calendar event is on your own calendar, then you're going to be able to see the training part. That's what I want to get at. All right, back to this though. But what I think you really want to do is you want to click here. You want to click here, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to subscribe you. It's going to add this whole calendar to your own Google Calendar in the same way. It's going to show up here under other calendars in the same way I'm subscribed to the education calendar, EXP. State and regional calendar I'm subscribed to. So it will show the same way for you. All right. And then what you're going to do, let's say I'm subscribed to the kvCore strategy calendar. What you're going to do is you're going to look at this. Now, if you're Mountain Time, for example, or Pacific Time, it's going to show up on your calendar at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you're 2 hours before me, it's going to show up at 6 a.m. You're like, well, I don't want to do that at 6 a.m. Well, notice to change the time of day of this time block, copy this event to your own calendar, then modify it to work for your own schedule. So for example, I'm like, okay, I want to do this, but I don't want to do it at that time or that day or whatever. So then you're going to click options, copy to your own calendar, and then change it to what you want. Okay. And then save it. All right. You notice that it comes out automatically as a weekly task. So if you don't want to do it weekly, it's up to you to change it. All right. So that's how you can decide to integrate these tasks from the calendar to your own calendar. Now, I have a whole other section I want to also explain to you before I do the Q&A. So let me see really quick what it is, and I'm gonna kind of skim through some of your questions that apply to exactly what we're talking about now before I go on. So we talked about, we've done these first 5 steps. What is time blocking? How do you do it? What strategy can you follow for working with kvCore every day, week, month? How do you manage a Google Calendar? How do you subscribe to a Google Calendar? And how and why do you add events from a subscription calendar to your own calendar? So we talked about that. So I'm just going to kind of skim through any questions I might need to address. Tanya said, when we copy a specific event to our own calendar, it will show up in both places. Yes. When you copy my events that are tasks. So most of these things, most of everything in my calendar, the kvCore strategy calendar I gave you, are tasks. And you can do those whenever you want. So move them to whatever time you need to move them to that makes sense for your schedule. There's only a few things on that kvCore strategy calendar that are actually events that you can't change. Like, so for example, kvCore happy hour here, for example, I tell you, this is an event and you only have access if you're one of these people. All right. So that's an example. All right. So, but most everything on here is just a task that you can move to whatever time you want. Just on the calendar you subscribe to, it won't change. It'll only change when you copy that event to your own calendar. Celeste, how it works if you have Outlook. So you'll notice at the bottom here, you got these other options here. So shareable calendar link, you can actually just open up the calendar and just see it. It's going to take you there. It's just a public link. The other thing is you have these calendar IDs and the public URL of the calendar and the iCal format. So Outlook will allow you to take I don't know which one they need, that Outlook would need for you to add it to Outlook, but I put everything that you need down here. Okay. So if just simply subscribing to add your own Google Calendar isn't going to work, if you want to put in iCal or Outlook, then you're going to use these options down here. Tanya, you don't have to copy. You don't have to copy to your own calendar. You only want to copy to your own calendar if you just want to make sure you add it as an event that you're going to actually do. Add those items. Like that's where time blocking comes in, right? Because you can have the kvCore strategy calendar all day, but if you're not actually going to time block that activity on your own calendar, then will it ever get done? Cheryl, how do you get a Google Calendar? You need a Google account. So what you're going to do, if you don't have a Gmail account, so if you do have a Gmail account somewhere, just log into that Gmail account if that's where you want to have your business calendar. So if you don't, then you just you're just in how you find that actually, if you're just in Google here, I'm up here, I can see I'm logged in. That's my Google account right there. If I hover over the top right, you might not see it because maybe the video is in the way. You can click and drag the videos to go to the bottom of the screen. But at the top right, I see my little face. It says Google account, hello@sylviadana.com. And then I have these little Google apps I can click on, shows me all my apps. And one of them is my calendar. So how do you get a Google Calendar? You get a Gmail account. Ta-da! Yeah, Charles. And so somebody's asking, how do I subscribe to that Google Calendar? Great question. For eXp Realty, if you're eXp. So your company might have a your team or your brokerage has a events calendar you subscribe to. So at eXp, you go to expcloud.com. Here is events shown in Pacific time zone. If I want to subscribe to this calendar, just click here, click, and then it's going to subscribe. No, I've already have it subscribed. So it says, do you want to add the calendar? I can't add it because I've already added it. It's saying, hey, do you want the Canadian training calendar? You haven't added that yet. No, I don't need that, but that's what's going to happen. I know, Charles, right? That's what you do. Okay. You also have the regional trainings here. Like, so, you know, all the state meetings, like, so for tomorrow, for example, in Michigan, we have a Michigan contracts class I could go to. So I can just look at this, for example, and say, oh yeah, I got to go to that. I could subscribe to this whole calendar, or I could click copy to my calendar so that I make sure I add that to my calendar. Andrea, how do you differentiate between calendars you subscribe to and time blocking? And this is something that's going to have to evolve for you. So I'm going to look at what I got going on. And again, I'm a crazy person. So here I am on my Google account. This is my business email. This is what I use for business. And I have my main calendar, which I named it work, just so it's clear. So when I click on this is everything that's on my work calendar. All right. Next, I have this appointments. This is if somebody schedules a Calendly call with me, it goes to this calendar. And the reason I think I have it separate is because separate from my work calendar is because I wanted to be able to share this particular calendar with somebody else without sharing my entire calendar. So this is just one calendar I wanted to share. Also, there's a separate one, appointments from Facebook. So from Facebook, if somebody actually scheduled something with me on my Facebook business page, which they could do, it would show up. In addition, I've got my kvCore task calendar. And anything else I want to see all at once. And the ones I know I want to see all at once are these. So I guess I just inherently know them because I use it all the time. I'm like, okay, I want to make sure all this stuff I see right now so I don't miss things. So as far as how you identify this, it's totally up to you. Now, you'll notice that you're going to have where it says other calendars, you're going to have your maybe eXp Realty, education calendar and other calendars if you've subscribed to it. And then you're gonna have the kvCore strategy calendar listed under other calendars if you subscribe to it. So right now I'm looking at the kvCore strategy calendar too. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of things. When can I do this kvCore daily review? Does it make sense for my calendar? And you know what, right now it actually does make sense. So I could copy this event to my own calendar. So it shows up on my work calendar. If I want it to show on my work calendar or not, it's completely up to you. All right. Completely up to you. I suggest you do add the events and the tasks you want to do to your work calendar, because then you're truly time blocking it. Because right now, if I don't feel like doing this or, you know, whatever, if it's not important to me, I can just click it off and then it doesn't exist. It's not on my calendar. So I have to decide what events or tasks from the kvCore strategy calendar do I want to make sure I do. So for example, I'm looking at this kvCore strategy calendar I've got checked right now. And I was like, you know, that's not on my own calendar, this market report post. And I want to make sure I do that. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to copy it to my work calendar, save it. And now look, now it's on my work calendar. So if I uncheck kvCore strategy calendar, it's okay because it's still on my calendar. I've time blocked it. But I do want to go to one other thing. It's important. And it's interesting and it's fun. What I want to get into now is a separate calendar that I have for kvCore. So notice when I click on this one, this little guy popped up. What is it? Okay, it's just letting me know a campaign for this guy ended. All right, so how do I want tasks from my kvCore to show up on my calendar? That is your next question. And that's the next section I want to cover. Okay, so think about whether or not you want a kvCore separate calendar. So let's get into that. This is where things can get real hairy when it comes to working with kvCore and your calendar. So that's why I want to take a beat here to talk about it. So let me show you on my dashboard. If I go to my dashboard, I can see activity, calls, tasks, calendar. If I click on calendar here, notice it says Sylvia Dana kvCore. That's my kvCore calendar. These are the events and tasks from kvCore tasks that are showing up on my calendar right now. Okay, this one, for example, it says follow up with this lead. It has a note in here, lead emailed us back and has some specifics on what he's looking for in a house. And that's a task that's showing up on my calendar. So this is a task I could create from a contact, or my virtual assistant did that. She assigned this to me. She basically assigned this task to me. All right, so let's talk about this. How does this happen? How do I have this calendar here? Well, let's go back to like using the uses of it. So let's pretend, and let's go back to my Smart CRM. Let's find Beth. And let's see if she opened up that, Beth Nugent. Let's see if she opened up that email yet. Remember I sent that video message? Let's see. Beth Nugent, where is she? There she is. Oh, look at that. Opened it. Tell you every time you do a video message with video message for their name from you, they open it 98% of the time very quickly. All right. So anyway, let's say I want to create a task for myself for this lead. So I'm going to go more actions, add a task, and I'm going to say follow up from video message. Okay, and I want to do this. I don't have time today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it like at 1:30 p.m. Okay, and I'm going to say Beth has been in system for 2 years. Wasn't opening emails, but 2 days ago started looking at properties. I sent her a video message, email, and need to follow up again to convert. Okay, so I can't really just send one video message like that and expect her to do anything, even if she's interested. It doesn't mean she's not interested when she doesn't reply. It does not mean she's not interested. It just means she's not ready to deal with it. She's probably busy. She's probably at work right now. You know, you got to keep after it. So the ball is not in her court. The ball is always in my court. Like I'm the pursuer in this scenario. All right. So I just made myself a task so I can see what my next task is. It's going to show up here. But where else can it show up? It can show up in a couple different places. It can show up here in these task drop downs. What's due? You click on that little checkbox at the top. You guys see it? I'm going to go back to my dashboard and I'm going to look at my calendar here and see my calendar tasks. Beth Nugent, follow up from video message. So there it is. It's showing me there too. All right. But guess what? I have added this to my kvCore only calendar, and guess where it's going to show? It is going to show right here. So I've got this calendar showing, and there it is for tomorrow. There's the event. It's showing up. And what's great. So let's say I look at my calendar tomorrow morning and say, oh, what do I got to do today? I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. I got to do this. What's this kvCore task I got to do? Okay, Beth. Oh, a follow up from video message. oh yeah, she'd been an assistant for 2 years. I sent a video message. Oh yeah, I want to follow up with her tomorrow. Okay, yeah. So then it's going to show me the email and the name, and it's going to click here. If I click here, it's going to take me right to her lead inside kvCore. So now I can start, staying engaged with kvCore because I signed myself a task. It showed up on my calendar, and I'm ready to go with this. And now I'll do my task that I said I was going to do. So that's what we're going to be working on here. So what are your options for this? So this is where it gets a little hairy. And I just want to tell you what I do and why. And you can make your own decisions. First thing I want to point out is if I click on the drop down here where it says Sylvia, and it shows me my profile. I'm going to go to my profile. And I'm going to click on edit profile, and I want to show you something important, very important. Okay. In my profile, you'll see it says my email address here. Whatever email address is in here, that's really just your login that you're logging into kvCore with. What is your kvCore login email? That's what that is. Also, how does kvCore know how to reach you if they needed to reach you? That is the email address. The from email is different. The from email is, what email address do you want these emails sent from kvCore to go to? What email address do you want the emails sent from kvCore to go to? I want to tell you, if you're at EXP and you have an email address that looks like this, you're not going to want to put it in the from email. The reason is, most all of us, there's a few, I was an early adopter of EXP, and they used to give us our own G Suite account with that email address. And then we had an option when they stopped giving it, we had an option to, not use it. And the other people had an option to keep it, but most people didn't keep it. Long story short, this is an alias email, meaning it doesn't have a true inbox. It's really just a forwarding email. So like if your email address is, allenrealtor@gmail.com, and that's your email address, your EXP emails are probably being forwarded there. So it doesn't have its own inbox. You don't want to put an email address in here that's not a true email address. Why? Because it's not a true email address. A lot of times your emails that you send will end up in spam or go in people's promotions tabs in their Gmail accounts, for example. So in order to help prevent that, is you want to use a specific email that's not an email associated with a forwarded email account. So that's step one. Step two, it does say don't use Yahoo or AOL addresses. I always recommend everybody have a Gmail account. Just use Gmail. It's going to make your life easier. You've got everything in there. Google Drive, everything's all in once. It's cloud-based. Use it. All right. Especially at EXP. All right. And I'm also using this from email for notifications. What are notifications? Whenever I'm being notified that I got a new lead or etc. So that's all well and good. But how do I integrate the calendar with kvCore? The reason I'm going on and on about the email address thing is, first of all, I think it's important information. But second of all, what I suggest is you use whatever email address is in your from email address. I suggest you use that for the calendar connection. So how do I get that calendar to connect to kvCore so I can see the calendar? You have to go up here to where this little email icon is and click on it. You'll see here it's showing me what's happening. Beth, this is a response or a notification. Beth Nugent, she revisited the site after 14 days. Carol Dodery viewed a property 3 times. So all my behavior alerts here, or if anybody sent an email reply, any new lead notifications are all here. Notice I don't have a bunch of other junk from my email, like Grant Cardone marketing and, title company stuff and stuff for my team and Women's Council of Realtors messages. And like, I don't have all that stuff. I only have stuff that has to do with kvCore in here, and it makes it clean and beautiful. So for example, when I go to my dashboard here and I look at any new emails I got, only kvCore related stuff is going to be in here. Everything with my leads is going to be here. No other garbage, because I don't want to deal with any other garbage. I don't want anything else to get lost in the shuffle. I just want any leads, past clients, sphere that I'm trying to do business with and connect. I want it here. I don't want any other garbage. So what I did is I created a kvCore only email address. So that's what I'm trying to get at. So I'm going to get there here with you. So how would you, first of all, how would you connect an email address? You go here to Google settings and connect it. Now I've already got one connected, so it's not giving me the option to connect one. I'd have to disconnect this in order to have that option. So if you haven't connected one, it'll show here. You could connect your regular business email. You absolutely could. All right. Just know that your dashboard might get a little messier, and all those new lead notifications and email replies are going to go directly into your business email, which could be good for you. But for me, it's bad. The reason I feel it's bad for me, and the reason I have a separate Gmail account just for kvCore, is look at my regular business email. It is a hot mess. Now I have this notification that my video message got read. Why? From BombBomb. Why do I have that there? Because BombBomb is connected to my Gmail account as well. Stuff for the Sylvia system. When people order stuff from us, it comes through. Women's Council of Realtors, messages come through. I'm a coaching member for different coaches, and I use Sphere Rocket for VAs, and I have an appointment there. I'm meeting somebody from kvCore, so I can tell them how, we hate the 360 home app, and so I need to have an appointment with them. So like all these different things that are in here. I don't want all this garbage mingling with my kvCore account and my kvCore.
Do people see that? Do people see your kvCore only email address? Do they see what that is?
Yeah, because that's where it's sent from.
Okay.
So long story short, I created a kvCore only email. And how did I do that? So you'll see when this is my Google account, I click the drop down. If you guys can see it, you'll see I've got all these different email accounts that I can log into right now. So over here, I have this info at sylviadana.com. So I created a info at sylviadana.com. You don't have to, so that this is I have a Google suite, so I have several email addresses with that domain. You don't have to have that. You could be a free Gmail account, a separate free Gmail account. You call Jody Zink Realtor at gmail.com, or Jody Zink database, or Jody Zink CRM, or Jody Zink, hello, whatever, at gmail.com, just another email address, because they are going to see it. All right. And so what I love about this is everything's it's all in here. These are all the new lead emails, notifications, replies I get in here. So like this guy replied, hey, Sylvia, I didn't receive a text. Here's my number. Why is this property back in the market? And so I replied to him. It's all nice and clean. And how did I see this? And how did I know it was there? I didn't go to that email. I was able to see my new emails here, see what he said. I can respond right directly from here, but I can click read full email. It's going to take me to that email address, and I can reply right in here as well. Either way. Okay. So that's my strategy to keep everything separate and clean and not get mingled with my hot mess business email. It's just my choice. If you want to try it, mingling it with your business email first before you get all fancy with the second email address, totally up to you. But you might notice you're going to have a cleaner system if you do it my way. So long story short, you're going to go to Google settings. You're going to sync the account. And what I want you to do is just sync the email so that you can load any unread emails just like this, and the calendar. Sync the calendar. I'm going to say don't sync Google Contacts into kvCore, especially if it's a kvCore only email, because you're not giving this email address to anybody. You're not giving the email address out to, your title company. It's not going to be on your business cards. It's only for kvCore leads back and forth. That's all it's for. It's not an email address you want everybody having. Okay. The other thing I'm going to say is if you do use your own business email address or some other email address and connect it, I say you definitely don't want to sync it, because you're going to have all these crazy contacts, like an old boyfriend from 10 years ago. This happened to my friend Rebecca. An old boyfriend from like a bajillion years ago was a Google contact. It got added to her kvCore because she did the syncing, and he got a new buyer lead email, and she's like, ah, you know. Point is, just, I don't think this is going to cause problems. Okay, it just is. If you want people, this is my opinion. If you want people from your phone contacts, from your Google contacts, whatever, to go into kvCore, then export them, clean up the file the way you like it, and import them. That's, I think, how people should get into your kvCore. It's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Anyway, long story short, that's how you do it. Now, the other thing that I've done is this calendar is here, but it's also, I've shared it with myself, so that info at sylviadana.com email address has been shared with myself. So I shared it with myself. I can see it. So if you click on options for calendar and how to share them, you can go to settings and sharing, and then you can see who are you sharing the calendar with. So these are all the people that can see my calendar. So I can see it, and a couple of my virtual assistants can also see that calendar. So I shared it with myself, and that's how it shows up here because I have it checked, and now I can see any tasks from that calendar here. Again, if you want to integrate it all in one business account and not have a separate calendar, separate email, totally up to you. Okay. Try it that way first if you want to, but if it seems like it's getting messy, then this is my clean and nice way to do it that I like. All right. So that's the kvCore only email and the tasks, how to get those tasks to you. And that's it. That's what I needed to share with you today.
Hi, Sylvia. So big picture on the whole second email to go to this other Google account.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of that? What are you trying to avoid, or what are you trying to accomplish?
The reason you want to sync an email address in the first place is I can respond directly to Brandon right here. If I don't sync an email, I can't do that. And I want to see the emails I got right here real clearly, and I want to easily read the full email right in here. And otherwise, if you don't sync the email, you'll just notice you got an email, and then you'll have to go into your other email, that separate email account, and find it, and then try to reply to it. So you want to sync an email to make life easier.
Couldn't you just click on that and have kvCore open a response to that instead of having it open a Google response to it?
So again, I have the option to click respond, and I can respond directly from inside kvCore.
Okay.
If I sync an email. Okay.
No, but even if you don't sync the email, shouldn't you be able to do that?
Nope.
Oh, you can't?
This is what I'm telling you. You want to sync an email address so that you can respond. I'm telling you, that's how you have to do it. If you want to respond directly from inside kvCore, you have to sync an email.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
I'm telling you, I use a kvCore only email to keep this clean. Again, do you have to do it this way? No, I just tell you, I've been using this since 2018, and I'm a real estate agent like you, and I deal with it. And I'm just telling you, this is the way I found that makes it the cleanest way. If you want to try a different way, Dan, I want you to. I don't want you to say you have to do it this way. But the other reason that I have that kvCore only email is because then it's associated with those tasks. When I create tasks, now I've got a task, a separate calendar just for kvCore tasks that I can share with myself as well. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Very good. Thank you.
The other reason I like it, that my kvCore only email and kvCore only calendar associated with that, is because I have virtual assistants working in there. So they're the ones who are in charge of that calendar and that email. Okay. Stephen Coletti.
Yeah. Do you have, I've been trying to take these notes, and you talk quickly.
I'm sorry.
Do you have the steps laid out like in a PDF or something that I can go back to? Because you got to check this box, I got to do this to set all this up, and I'm not sure I have.
I
log
feel
in
like I
correctly.
did at one time. But here I can tell it you right now. Want me to tell you right now?
Yep.
Ready?
Yep,
Okay, step one, identify the email address that you are going to use for your from email.
so I would create a new Gmail.
If you want to use a kvCore only email, so just identify which one that's going to be, and
Okay.
make sure that's in your agent profile under from email. That is step one. So again, I'm here. I'm in my agent profile, and here I edit my profile, and I make sure edit my profile, whatever's in my from email, that's the correct one. That's step one. Step two at the top. On this dashboard here at the top, you'll see this little email icon. You'll click on that, click on Google settings. It'll allow you to sync Google or Outlook. I just recommend Google all day.
Yeah.
So you'll put in whatever email address that is that you want to sync.
Okay.
So mine's already synced, so so it doesn't give me the option to sync another one. I'd have to uncheck this and redo it, but I'm not going to do that. So you're going to put in your email address, and then you're going to choose email and calendar.
But not contacts.
I would say not contacts, and then
Yep.
save settings. Okay. Then now what you can do with that is you can go to your new kvCore only account, if that's what you're going to do, or if maybe you're just using your regular business address, totally up to you. You're going to go there and you are going to check out your email. Okay, you're going to have it here. Make sure it's good, you're happy. The other thing that's beautiful about having a kvCore only email is all these notifications are just going to one place. They're not junking up my business email too. Okay, so it's the other plus. So it's here, but I'm never in here because I'll tell you why. But then I also have this kvCore only calendar, and these tasks are here. So what you're going to want to do, Stephen, when you set this up and you sync it, then you're going to go into your calendar and you're going to go into your settings. So I'm going to go to options for Sylvia.com, setting and sharing. Okay, that's what you have to do. Okay, go to settings and sharing, and then here you'll have access information, and you'll be able to choose to share it with specific people. So what you're going to do is you're going to share it with your actual business account. So, again, this is my kvCore only calendar, but I have my own business calendar that I've been showing you, my true business account that I use for everything all the time. This is my business account. I want to share this calendar with myself. So you'll see over here, I've shared it with myself. That's why I can see it. So that's the next step, is to share your calendar with yourself as well. Now you're going to be able to go in and create tasks for yourself, and then they're going to show up on that calendar, and they're also going to show up as a task on kvCore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and so I have a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
So I would share it with her if she's kind of more managing the kvCore stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Share it with her. Okay.
I hope that helps. Those of you who aren't in any of my programs, you don't have to be. Okay. There is options for learning more. Inside Real Estate has an agent quick start, but your brokerage hosted training. So you can go to expcloud.com if you're EXP and find out when is kvCore being taught in the world. I have my free YouTube channel. So again, you guys have these slides. I'll make sure I share it again, where you can go on my YouTube channel. And I have people come up to me at events that I've never heard from before, never seen before, don't know their name, that they know me. And I've helped them set up kvCore because of my free videos on YouTube, or I help them get leads because of my free videos on YouTube. So it's totally up to you. Now, I do have kvCore Blast Off Plus. kvCore Blast Off Plus is something I do every Tuesday at 2 p.m. On Zoom. And I do a live training. It's a larger group training, and I do a Q&A at the end. And with that, you have access to all my on-demand training as well. Right now, we're doing a market shift series, and then that ends February 28th. And then we'll be doing a spring market series in March. And then after March, I'm going to go all the way to the back basics, starting over from the very, very beginning with kvCore for the absolute newbie or somebody who just wants all the information. That's kvCore Blast Off Plus. You get the one live training a week with recordings and my on-demand training. It is a subscription, $99 a month, and you can cancel anytime. If you click on this, I describe what you're getting there. If you want a setup from us, you can learn about all my coaching products here. If you click on here, it takes you to this page where I kind of give like a quick rundown of each option, what kvCore blast off, my Presto coaching program, Magic Wand for my VA training program, Abracadabra, an intermediate setup, White Glove Magic, a basic setup. We also do WordPress websites. And if you're not with EXP and want to partner with me and get all this free, you can. Okay.